normal business would do. Why we have to be in court to do this is something completely beyond me, except that they're following the pattern of the President of the United States, who believes that he can just do what he wants to do and obscure the laws, national and constitutional laws, and they think they can do the same thing in the state of New Jersey and in Newark. And while we were going back and forth in court, handing over documents to one another, they began, unbeknownst to anyone, putting people or detainees inside of the building. We are at the site right now trying to verify that they actually have people in the building. We know from word of mouth that they said that they've been putting people in the building, from an employee there who told us that detainees were in fact being allowed in the building while we are actually in court still now. We have the fire department down there, our fire inspectors, at the building right now as we are doing this press conference, and they are not being allowed in the building right now. So they're standing out there trying to get in the building. We will go back to court. Again, this is blatant disregard for the courts, blatant disregard for laws. The court had to force them to allow us to go into the building the first time to do an initial inspection. An initial inspection, we found some violations. Some of them weren't grave violations, but they were in fact violations, and violations that put first responders at risk, violations that put detainees or workers that are there at risk. If there's something that happens in a building and we respond to it, it puts us all at risk immediately. That's the purpose of having UCC inspections in the first place. That's the purpose of having fire inspections in the first place, health inspection in the first place. We also need to know if they're going to have children in the building. If they, in fact, are saying they have to have children in, are they going to have children? Then that's a whole different protocol that they have to follow in terms of the city inspections, the health department, and fire code, and all of those things. We have to know that as well. Their contention is that they are going off an old certificate of occupancy from 2007. We are saying that that is not valid. In fact, they're saying that they're not doing anything different than they were doing in 2007, but we won't know this unless we actually have access to the building, to the facilities, to see what's going on, which they refuse to allow us to do. We're going to continue with the courts, but you know, frankly, that's not all, right? We have to do more, and we are going to do more. You know, outside of our partners and working with our partners here in the city of Newark and in around the state, we're going to do what we can to make sure that they follow the law in the first place. And the last thing I want to say is that people are saying that we have, and we've been taking our time trying to go through this properly, because we've obviously been accused of politicizing the issue. The reality is this is not a Republican or Democratic issue in my mind. It's an issue of human rights. It's an issue of the due process. It's an issue of the Fourth Amendment of the Constitution of the United States. We know what ICE has done in the past. We've seen them. We know how they operate. We know that they have picked people up who have not broken any laws. We know they've deported people and refused to bring them back. We know that they've seized people that have had green cards, seized people that were in the country legally who had visas, and we know that they have infringed upon the rights of residents of this city without taking them through any due process at all. So yeah, we are afraid and opposed and alarmed by them setting up a detention center where they continuously violate people's rights and house them in a building that now they won't even allow us access to the building. So the transparency is completely gone. We don't know what's going on in there. We don't know how many people they have in there. We don't know if there's code violations in there. And the courts don't seem to be acting strong enough and quick enough, in my mind, to get us the resolve and the resolution that we need. So I'll take any questions, or if you have questions for some of the folks here, they will answer some questions as well. So on this topic. Yes.
When does it get to the point that you park police cars out front and stop ICE or GEO Group employees from entering the facility?
Right. We tried our best to go through the legal piece of it, the process of it, the process. The reality is they have people in the building. If they have people in that building, detainees in that building, that takes another course, put us in another situation. We were prepared to put the barricades in front of the place. We were prepared to put the red sticker on, where we actually did it once, prepared to put it back on the door. with the help of the DCA, been waiting for, advice and consent from the DCA statewide, but we obviously, everybody's obviously moving slower than we are.
Natalie with CBS, you said an employee spoke about people in the facility. Any sense, are we talking a couple dozen? Who are these people?
Right.
Any idea?
And that's the point. We don't know. This is word of mouth that we heard from an employee. We are trying to verify all of that right now. We are at the building right now trying to verify. And we have to keep in mind, that if there are detainees in the building, that allows us, we have to be a little bit careful about how we move with this, if there's actual detainees in the facility. And if there's kids in there, we don't know.
I just came from the facility. I was down there vigiling all last week to urge that this not happen and urge that the employees understand that all great religions say we're supposed to welcome the foreigner, not treat them like this. And today I met a person whose wife is in the facility, and he was going to visit her. So there are people in that facility.
Yes.
Maybe Mr. Stewart can handle this question. I'm not sure. What's the status of the litigation right now? Have you got any hearings scheduled? Are you seeking an injunction at first prior to final disposition of the case? Please give us a thorough a rundown of
Sure.
what's happening in court.
Sure. So good morning. So essentially right now where we are, we recognize that the folks at Geo Group currently right now are trying to tell us that we don't have the right to have a CO. As the mayor said a few moments ago, they think that everything should be based on back in 2007. The courts are also telling them that they have to apply, is not making it an order or making it a mandatory situation. Recognizing that we just learned the information about the possibility of there being people in the building, that then triggers a number of things because our health department have to make sure that the kitchens are sanitized. Of course, some of the violations that they had include failure to have emergency doors and things of that nature. And of course, some of the issues that came up spoke to the laundry rooms and things of that nature and the possibility of gas being in that room. So we cannot be in a space where we have young people, possibly kids, in that location. So as a result, we're going to file in court again so that we can get in the building to know what's going on. Because as the mayor said a few moments ago, we wouldn't know all the information without getting inside.
So in short, we are going to file an injunction and try to get them to reverse what's happening in the property. We're going to do that going forward. So we are in the court right now. There was never a final disposition on this, so we were in the middle of a court proceeding, and they proceeded to do this. Geo Group took it upon themselves to do whatever they wanted to do outside of the municipal laws and the state laws.
Newark, New Jersey, nous avons suivi déclaration magistrat Baraka, qui lui-même tapé certaines explications concernant confrontation qui existait entre ICE ensemble avec responsable administration New Jersey dans le cadre arrestation et déportation citoyens dit qui a vivre illégal sur le territoire américain. Yon prison côté que yo habitué mettre moun yo et bien yo extendé yo élargi li yo expandi qui donc yo ka mettre plus moun là-dedans selon sa responsabilité annoncée du côté de New Jersey. Information qui confirmée jeudi par magistrat Baraka qui lui-même a pu bailler détails et yo fait comprendre inquiétude c'est parce que yo pas accès avec centre détention ça dans qui conditions que moun yo yé, conditions de santé, nourriture, logement yo tout ça et puis droit que citoyen yo gagné ça dans les deux process là pour la présenter devant un juge pour capable tendre yo sur ça que yo accusé yo avant yo arriver déporter citoyen si là. N'a pas rappelé que chef l'État dans une interview qu'il a en chaîne de télévision, lui fait comprendre que il gagne droit pour le choisir est-ce que ou bien qu'il a respecté constitution qu'il a appliqué constitution américaine dans le cadre mouvement déporté citoyen qui vivent illégal ici aux États-Unis. Alcatraz c'est une gros prison que États-Unis gagne que yo fermé, yo entend dans le demandé pour ta renouveler comme fédéral prison pour capable mettre citoyen que yo arrêté. Donc il n'y a pas assez de prison, pas de espace dans pays étranger tant que Salvador qui yo utilisé maintenant livrer faire l'autre prison encore ou bien ouvrir l'autre tant que ça qu'a fait dans la cour Guantanamo à côté qui a construit plus espace pour capable mettre citoyens qui yo arrêté pas bon ici sur territoire américain. À 1h, chef l'État a gagné une intervention pour le faire. La parler de une question sport nous va gagner pour nous développer avec vous. Dans compte ça, je ne dis ou connaît Red Branche Pstars FM Radio Télévision parce que information li dans la rue n'a suivre li pour mais s'il en bas paille nous pral chercher le côté que li pour nous porter pour ça li annoncer li prend la rue à 1h et bien autant que Seigneur li prêter nos vies nous promettons n'a continuer partager avec vous information la côté qui est sorti ou branche Pstars radio et télévision. C'est vrai, nous travaillons online pour le moment. Nous avons un numéro de téléphone que vous pouvez attendre depuis Pstars, 631 359 85 35. Vous pouvez aller sur le website, vous pouvez aller sur Twitter, vous pouvez aller sur Facebook, vous pouvez aller sur TikTok. Pour attendre depuis Pstars, suivez-nous, gardez ce qui a passé en dedans. Réseau pour la non, Titan encore tout petit 8. Madame Marceline Jésus là, il peut aller dans le cas là pour le causer avec vous. Pstars, famille, support, vous connaissez Chopao, vous faites partie des familles. Moi-même, dans la famille, nous mettons dehors, allez.